Hello and welcome back to The Visual Historian. My name is George Kushler, owner of GK Photography right here in New Orleans. And today I wanted to talk to my photography clients. If you're on my mailing list, you do get heads up first on sessions coming up, any package deals, that kind of thing. So if you're on my contact list, if you've gone to my website and you've clicked contact and you filled it out and you tell me, what kind of service you're looking for, you'll get a response from me, which is automated, but that also puts you in my system. So when I do an email, you should be on that list. So today I wanted to quickly put this out there as a PSA. It is graduation time, meaning a lot of high school seniors are calling me. Some graduates of college are also calling me. So whether you're Tulane, LSU, Loyola, it doesn't matter. I'm servicing everybody. They're fun, awesome portrait sessions. They're unlike anything else. They're more about you than anything else. It's not me posing you, so to speak. Everybody likes, them to look like themselves, and that's exactly what I specialize in. So when you do click the contact us and you click, I think it's graduates or maybe senior portraits, in the automated email, you're going to get some information from me, and I offer 2 sessions. Okay. And I have found over the years that people who have been calling me usually want one of 2 things. Either they want the basic and it's, simple, or they want it all. And let me just tell you what those 2 include. First of all, the basic session will get you a 1-hour session up to 3 outfits, and you'll get all of the images printable up to 8x10 size as your digital images. Those same images will also be available for sharing on the web, and 20% online orders for 2 weeks after that. Okay. So that is for $600, or you can do the Big Easy, which is $1,500. And that gets you 2 locations, up to 4 outfits. It gets you 30 digital images, high resolution, plus you get 48 wallets, plus you get an 11x14. Mom wants that, so she can frame it. And you also get an 8x8 custom design book, usually from the 30 images or the 20 images that you are selecting as your faves when you come and see me. You also get 20% off all online orders for the 2 weeks beyond that. But this is an incredible deal. It's $1,500. When you make your session fee with me to schedule your date, that is one payment, and the second payment of that balance is due the day before the session. And that's it. Easy peasy cool, man. Just let me know which of those 2 you want to do. You can always upgrade if you do the basic. It's not a problem. But some people just know what they want, and it's easier just to stick it in your budget, pay it out, and move on. So if that is what you're looking for, I am your guy. Feel free to text me at 504-957-8412. That is my business line. Yes, it is my cell. But it's also the quickest way to get on the calendar to maybe have any of your questions answered. If I'm on the job or in between outfits or whatever it is, I can respond back to you. It's just really, really cool. After my 3 decades of doing this, I love how available I can be for my clients now. I grew up on technology, so I love it when tech is in my favor. It's a beautiful thing that what we can do these days on our phones is just unbelievable. I mean, my CRM, meaning my custom relations management software, which is how I communicate with my clients, is also an app on my phone. So I can do a lot if I'm at a session at City Park and my senior is going to change her clothes, and then you send me a text, and I can do a lot from the phone. So instead of calling around and not hearing from photographers for several days, I am the 1,000,000% opposite. That is my cell. All you got to do is text me. I mean, I cannot make it more easier than that. I am the easiest person in the world to work with. Anyway, so moving on to the rest of this podcast, I want you, the fellow listener, to basically, I want you to be aware of your own existence in this world and how much of a positive advancement we can do for people, man, for anybody else. So I just want you to smile. I want you to be a little nicer. I want you to be aware of what's coming out of your mouth, because I am very aware when I tell my kids, when I step out of this house and I go anywhere else outside of this house, okay, in these four walls is the only time I can be me. Like 100%, let the hair down, no pun intended, and just be in my own presence and relax. However, I believe that when you leave the house, you kind of have a job. You have a societal job to be part of this public society that we all live in. And every action has a reaction. So if you're kind, even if you're having a bad day, that person in front of you does not deserve your bad day. Okay? So if you're just kind to the person outside of you, whether they're having a bad day or not, that's not the point. The point is you have control of your own ripple effect. So I just want you to be aware of that, So we are now New Orleans. Mardi Gras is over. We're moving forward. 2026 is in high gear now. So our high school and college graduates are now calling me. We have some regular family sessions calling me. I have businesses that are calling me about rebranding their own websites. They need new headshots. They need interior work. I do all of those things. It's my way of not being bored. I love every aspect of photography. So I have been like the go-to dude in town. My commercial world people has no idea that I photograph babies on Sunday with my wife. They don't know. So my high school seniors, who usually within 10 years later becomes a bride. From there, they have babies. They bring their newborns to us. And the cycle repeats itself. So I am living this amazing, beautiful world of, the circle of life that I see. And I love being your dude. I like being your photographer, your personal photographer. And that is the one thing I wanted to kind of highlight today is the simple fact that, when you go to Walmart, when you go to Target, when you go to any of these bigger businesses, you're dealing with a plethora amount of people that are a part of that business. Okay. When you go to Macy's and, maybe there's your favorite employee that's great at finding you some clothes that fit your body style. And it's great to honor that one salesperson. But, what if they leave? What if it's a day off? Whatever it is, you're going into a business that can't do anything besides these are the prices on the clothes. Here's the register, pay, leave. See you next time. When you deal with a family-owned business like myself, we are able to customize something for you. This is part of the service that you get from something that is so personal as photography. So I know you're thinking, I got my phone. I can take pictures. Yeah, a lot of people have cameras. Everybody has a phone. Yes, you can take a picture. That doesn't mean you can do what a professional does every day, consistently, efficiently, perfectly, just about. Good Lord. Any photographer out there will tell you that we're not done when we're done your session. Usually we go home, we dump the images, we look at them, and then we love what we do. We like our people being happy, but at the same time, we are proud of our work. So people in the background in the park, delete, trash on the ground, exit sign in the background, whatever it is. Maybe the sky should be a little bit darker looking. like you name it. We spend more time and effort on your images. You know, when you kind of joke around on a session and say, "Oh, can you take care of this left side of my face? I had this little rash that kind of happened, and makeup didn't cover it completely. Do you mind taking care of that?" Anytime we spend time on the image, that's worthy. It's worth something. Okay. So a lot of times us photographers are so proud of our work, we're usually not charging you more. We just want you to be happy. Now, we can't be abused in that faction. Okay. But that is what you pay for on a custom service. And any photographer out there, whether you're beginning, even if you're just a person with a camera and you're starting to fall in love with what you can do on the computer, you understand what I'm talking about. It becomes the black hole of time. When shopping brides are on Threads or Twitter and they're complaining about what things cost, you do not have to buy anything. You can buy within your budget range all day long. There's no complaints. It's the fact that you want that champagne wedding on a beer budget, and now you're seeing why. Everything that has a price, when the service and the quality matches the price of what somebody is charging, that is called value. That's great, And I find it interesting that people might have a complaint problem online, like socially somebody into the voided internet out there is going to have an answer for you. But when you go shop a car, when you pay your water bill, when you pay your house note, your apartment lease, you've got no say in any of that. You pay it, you move on. That's it. I don't understand why in the art world, the creative world, I feel like sometimes because we love our jobs so much, it's easier for people to take advantage of us. Like if I complain loud enough, like at Walmart, we're going to lower our price. We can't do that, man. A lot of us price ourselves appropriately. We're worthy of what we're charging. Okay. Probably should charge more, but it's fair. It's a fair value. And it's wonderful when you attract those people in your life that agree. And we all just move on. Okay. So I was just telling a buddy the other day, because he was asking me about marketing and how frustrating it is to pay for the knot or, whatever it is that you're spending money on. And you may get a lot of inquiries, but they're not actual clients, whether they're bots or they're just out of your price range or they're shopping. They don't get back to you. I don't know. Whatever it is. I reminded him. I said, look, this is what you need to understand. And I think and I'm talking to fellow creatives in general out there, not just photographers, just creatives in general. We do a specialized service, okay? You're normally hiring the artist, the one person that is working for you, okay? First of all, the natural public needs to understand that you're dealing with one person. It's going to be hands-on. It's going to be personalized, which should be more money to begin with because it's personalized just for you. It's not the red shirt with 50 red shirts on the rack and they're all priced at $10. That's not what we do. So any of you creatives out there, I want you to remember this. I told my buddy, I said, look, man, when I market, in my way of marketing is to show the world when I do a post on Instagram, my website, whatever it is, I love talking about the person or the business that I did this work for. And I'm so proud on how that imagery represents them in a very good way. And they're going to be able to market themselves easier because they look fantastic. If it's a rebranding, if it's a high school senior, this person's going to put 48 wallets and send them to all their family. It's an honor for me to do what I do. However, I am very aware that I am marketing to the 1% of my city. 1% is who my client base is. Okay. So when the Google rep calls you and says, hello, I can help you get a lot more clicks on your website. And I've always stopped him and I'm like, can I educate you for a minute? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't need a million clicks. I need the 1% that are paying clients. And he didn't have an answer for me because they only know how to sell clicks. They only know how to sell traffic. And I think a lot of us, when you do a post on Instagram, you like seeing those likes. You like seeing more likes than you did last time. You start judging your own work according to the likability of an image. And if you're like me, I scroll sometimes and I like a lot of things, but I just don't hit the damn heart. I just, that's cool. Keep going. And that's not to be disrespectful or anything. It's just, this is America, dude. I don't have to do anything. I choose to do something. That's what makes this country so damn wonderful. You know, I keep telling people, so every once in a while, I like my life to be, sometimes I have a day where I just want to be like when I'm in New York, walking around. Nobody owes anybody anything. I mean, here in New Orleans, we're, hey, how you doing? We're going to hug you. We're going to high five you. We're going to ask you how your day is. How's your mom and them? That's just who we are. But every once in a while, my inner New York kind of comes out and I just want to be in my own space, my own headspace. It's kind of like when somebody has headphones on and they're walking, you don't bother them because they have headphones on. You're naturally assuming they're listening to something and they're not going to hear you when you say, hey, how you doing? Okay. Sometimes you want to just do that. You just want to be in your own space, you know? So anyway, backing up, your 1% is who you're marketing to. So if you are an active client of mine over all these years, you're part of that 1%. And that's amazing. You know, I had to learn when I was younger this 1% rule because I didn't know about it for many, many years. And it's very easy to look at somebody else that's posting work on Instagram and they have 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 likes. And, you know, there's nothing like that special about the darn image. But at the same time, you compare yourself to that person. Like, I'm confused. I'm doing good work. How come I'm not getting more than 22 likes? I think the way you need to look at it, I'm going to tell you one extra thing, by the way, about Instagram. But first, just remember the 1% are the people that take the time to maybe click that like, to maybe send you a DM, to maybe actually tell you, hey, I love this image you posted. I love seeing your work. It happens. I have people all the time that are talking to me in the background. And, you know, our clients over the years have also become friends of ours because people have my cell phone, as I just gave you in the beginning of this podcast. You know, I like being very hands-on. I love being personalized. I love learning more about you and your circumstance for whatever we're working together as, whether you're a bride or you are that high school senior and we're talking about what you can do for a career when you go to college. It's such a privilege to be able to work with you and learn about you. And I'm not Target. I'm not the red. You're not the red shirt to me. Okay. You're not one of 50 on a rack. Every name that comes up, I know a little bit more about them. And I love that. I respect that. I love my 1%. I adore my 1%. In fact, if you are on my mailing list, that means you're usually an active client of mine to some degree. That's my 1%. And look, I got news for you, man. My email list today was like, 2,700 active subscribers, as the email campaign thingy says. That's my 1%, okay? I'm not emailing 10,000 people. Your 1% is a smaller pool of your existing area, and those are the people that you take care of. So I'm gonna close out my last half of this podcast by telling you how important it is to take care of your 1% first. I know everybody talks about new business. Everybody talks about that new client. Everybody just wants to get more and more and more. But at the same time, I will ask my buddy, we were talking about marketing, and I'm like, what do you do for your own people? He's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what? When do you email to your people? He goes, yeah, every once in a while. I said, okay. So, well, let's just say Christmas is coming up. You have your holiday portrait specials. right? I said, where do you post that first? He goes, Facebook. And I'm like, why? He's like, what do you mean why? I'm going, no. Why do you do Facebook first? Facebook is, I call Facebook like the public, okay? Your 1% who is your active, loving you client base that you see every once in a blue moon, every once in a while, a couple times a year, maybe once every 5, doesn't matter. You're seeing them more than once. Those are the people that you've already pre-qualified to be your people. So why wouldn't you email your list first, say a few days to a week before you throw it out there on Facebook? He's like, oh, I never thought of that. I'm like, why? Why did you never think of that? And he's like, well, 1, I didn't realize the 1% thing. 2, if I only threw it out there on Facebook, I'm not even nurturing my people. So I kind of don't even know who my 1% are. And I was like, congratulations, you just graduated in business. I'm like, if you do not learn how to take care of your people, you don't understand your own business. Okay? So I'm gonna leave you today with any creative out there who's listening to this, anybody in business in general. All right. 1, don't compare yourself to others online. Remember, I scroll. I know you do too, without clicking at heart, even if you like it. So don't look at the likes and the hearts as validation. What I do want you to do is, if you're on Instagram, and I believe maybe it's only on the business model, but I can see the insights. And on the insights, I can see the reach. The reach are the numbers I go by. I just want to see how my post gets in front of people. And what's really neat about the reach is it'll show you on the right-hand side or the bottom right, it'll show you how many people saw this were your followers or non-followers. So I'm very concerned on how Instagram, the algorithm, decides to get this particular post, whether it's verbiage I did or hashtags. It's absolutely people like sharing. Maybe they told their friend. I don't know. All I know is I get excited when I see a post that goes out there, and the numbers and the likes are never like crazy great, but I look at the insights and it's wonderful. And it blows me away on how sometimes half of the people that saw it were non-followers, and then the other half were followers. To me, that's great. That's what I want to see. So the only thing I go by is the reach. So I have a couple of posts that'll get 800 people will see it, 1,900 people will see it. I have one post that's freaking almost 3,000. Now, keep in mind, this is my 1%. Okay, so I'm not gonna have 1 million likes or 1 million reach. It's just not. I'm not selling something that the entire world can actually acquire. So my numbers are very low, and that's okay. My numbers are very low according to actual paying clients, okay, or shopping clients, mostly local clients. That's what I want, okay? If you're an out-of-town bride, we love to have you here. You're going to be treated like our local brides are. I'm going to love you the same. I'm going to give you all of my creative energy, my heart, my soul, my business knowledge, my ethics. I'm going to dress nice for your job. You're going to get all those things, okay? But let's face it, when you go back to California, I may or may not ever see you again. So even though you're on my mailing list, I may or may not ever see you again. So take care of your people. So I can tell you this. There's one thing about us New Orleanians, and we call ourselves New Orleanians, whether we're in Metairie or Canberra or uptown, downtown, we all share the same way of growing up and how we like to be treated as we treat others. There's just some things that are very much the same, okay? If we find a place where, say we go to a restaurant and the owner is actually there and he comes to the table and he makes sure that you're happy, is there anything we can do to make it better? Like, he cares, okay? When we find those places, those are the ones that we're normally telling all of our friends about, and we're blowing them up. we like to see creative people, whether it's food, photography, painting, floral, it doesn't matter. Anything creative, we like to see people succeed. And we definitely want those who are doing it correctly and they are sharing their passion and it's obvious. We really want them to succeed because we love their love for what they do. I just want everybody to know that this is what, my 32nd year in business. This October makes 32. I have not changed at all in my passion in my 3 decades. If anything, it's stronger now because I'm a dad of 3 beautiful children, and I have so many more life experiences than I did in my 20s. And I respect other people's their own existence better, different, more. You know, I am my client now. I am the father of daughters. I have weddings coming up in the future. So when I do a job, when I do a wedding, I look at the mom and dad and they're relatable to me. But at the same time, I'm highly relatable to my wedding clients because, you know, I was that at one time also. There's stresses and successes through the wedding that I understand because I did it. I went through it, you know. I love that relatability. And I just adore the one thing that I love is that, say I go do a job at the big old hotel downtown, okay? I can 100% talk to and be relatable to the guy that's coming out to the table serving the bread. I can talk to him on the sidewalls because I've done that job too. Long time ago, I was a busboy. You know, it's like when you have more life experiences, you become more relatable to the people that you've also had those experiences doing the same kind of thing. So me going to work is like my therapy. I can literally talk to everybody, and I love that. I really do. And I'm going to leave you with this, okay? Because in the beginning, I was telling you guys about being the positive influence on somebody else today. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. One time I was at Monaco World, huge event, couple thousand people, and I'm on the side waiting for this thing to kind of kick off, and they told me that the CEO or whatever was going to say a couple of words and then kick the event off, and then the band starts and people can eat and blah, blah, blah. Huge event, okay? Oil company, something like that. I'm talking to this guy on the side. He's just in a suit, you know, regular old suit like everybody else. And we're chit-chatting and he's making conversation. And I'm very aware that, you know, people from up north and stuff, they do not talk as easy as we do here in New Orleans. Again, we fist bump, we high five, we give you a hug. Hey, how you doing? That's just who we are. Okay. It's odd to us when we tell you hi and you don't tell us hi back. We wonder what's wrong with you. You know? So anyway, he was making conversation and we were chit-chatting. And he was asking me how long have I been doing this? At the time, it was like 20 something years. And he was like, wow, that's incredible. I hope I have a son who's, you know, in between his college major. He doesn't know what he wants to do. I just hope he finds something that he can be passionate about. I'm like, that's incredible. Thank you so much for acknowledging, you know, me for what I'm doing. And yes, I do love what I do. I wish it made me $1 million a year, but he goes, yeah, but some things money can't buy. And I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, you can't enjoy your life unless you have the money to pay for your life. He's like, true. And I said, you got anything coming up soon? He goes, well, my daughter just got married. I said, really? I have 2. At the time, they were way younger. And he's like, man, you're going to love that day you walk down the aisle. And I'm like, it's like, I can't wait for it. And I'm dreading it at the same time. I said, you know, you just pray they marry somebody who's worthy of being your son-in-law. And he's like, I like mine. I said, well, that's good. And we kind of shook it off and, you know, we shook hands. I said, hi, my name's George. And he told me his name. And he's like, well, look, I'm going to have to go. But it was very nice meeting you. I said, same. Have fun tonight, all right? So he walks away. I turn around. I get a glass of water, chug that thing down before we start cranking. And they introduced the CEO of this huge multi-billion-dollar oil company. And it was him. He's the dude who's leading this whole thing. He's the representation of this company, this industry. And I paused and I kind of giggled and I kind of looked up and I'm like, man, you're good. You are so good to me. The good Lord has been good to me for a very long time. But when I tell you that when you start recognizing your own value and your own worth in this ecosystem called life, it gets more amazing. You think you're having a good day now? Wait till you get here. Wait till you make other human connections with people who you would normally never think you would make this kind of connection with. It's just awesome. It's awesome. This is me. This is all of me. I tell my kids, I said, when I leave the house, I like being the guy that likes to be some kind of positive ripple. It could be a smile. It could be a $1 tip. It could just be, hey, I like your earrings you're wearing. You see a dude say, hey, man, I dig your shoes. Where'd you get them at? He just feels good that he did something right that day. Maybe it's a piece that he loves his clothes, and being acknowledged for that just feels really good. I just like being that person, So I'm going to get out of here. It's been 31 minutes now. I encourage you, if you agree with everything you're hearing, if it feels good somewhere, maybe the little spidey senses on your neck are kind of going up, like I can relate. Maybe you're my 1%. Maybe you're not one of my 1% yet, but maybe you should be, So if I could be your photographer doing anything you need that requires a camera, I do it. That's what I do locally here in New Orleans. I am that ADD creative soul to where if I did only one thing, say only kids or only weddings, I'd be bored. I like the challenges. I love doing many different things. I love that I spent my money all those years ago on all those seminars and conventions and learned from master photographers in every field that I can think of. I love that I can offer so much to the person calling me. I know I can help, and I know I could be of service, of value, and I can't wait to give you a piece of me, because that's what happens when I go take pictures of people. I'm giving you a piece of me. I'm giving you a lot of me, actually. And I love to learn about you, and I love to connect the dots. I love to create something that we both shared. Those images have stories because we both created them together, whether you were the chef who put that plate of food in front of me and you entered it in some magazine and you got cover. Like, we all have stories to share. So I just want to be your photographer. If you think you're one of my 1%, I implore you to go to my website, www.gkphotography.com. Click Contact Us. And once you fill that out, even if you're just saying hi, you can click on Other. You don't have to click on a service. But if you want to just get in my mailing list, sometimes I'm emailing just some positive remarks and stories. And my email who went out today was about graduates, call me now before we're completely booked up, basically. Yeah, man. So if you are my 1% and you've already been part of this GK world within my last 3 decades, many of this is relatable to you, I'm sure. I love you, boys and girls. I really do. And my band, Ambush, which we have not played together in quite some time, but we write all of our own music. So we have 2 hours. If we were to play somewhere, we easily have 2 hours of our own rock and roll. My kids grew up to our music. They can sing the harmonies. It's a piece of me. I'm a drummer, by the way. Music never leaves my soul. It sets the tone for my day, my mood, my attitude, my passion. I have a song for each thing. I have a genre for each thing. I love music. And my outro is going to be just that. All right, you guys. Enjoy this day. Peace, love. See you next time.